Welcome in to this Wednesday evening. I am glad you're here. I am glad that I am here. For there is much to discuss. Things have come up, things have come out, things have come to light. Some are cool, some are less than cool. We're going to speculate on all of it. It's going to be a hoot. I hope you're ready to have some fun, because I am ready to have some fun with all of you. No Diddy. So fill your cup, light your smoke, give me the thumbs up, and get ready for some midweek nerdiness right here in the basement. What's happening? How's everybody doing? Brady, how you doing, David, how you doing there, sir? How are things at 2 in the morning where you're at? I hope everyone's doing well on this hump day. We have all kinds of Marvel-A to talk about. What's up, Matthew? How you doing, Bree? I suppose I could have said top of the morning to you, I guess, David, since it's like, Thursday and shit for you already. Excuse me. How has everyone's week been so far? I hope it's been good. And also, if you are a lurker and or on the replay, thank you for checking out the stream. And thank you in advance for hitting the like button, because I'm going to trust you on the honor system that you're hitting the thumbs up. Just like that. So far, so good. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, it's been an interesting week for me. My hours got cut at my job, and I'm too old to like attempt to, just push through that kind of bullshit. So I just fucking quit. But I already had an interview yesterday, so hopefully that'll come through. And I also have another interview this Friday morning as well. So I have prospects in short order, so that's a cool thing. What's up, Brooke? What's going on, man? I'm turning into a Tumblr person. What can I say? It maintains temperature longer, and I love that. Sometimes I forget that the straws have have a wider diameter than your average drink straw. So sometimes I go through my drink much faster than I anticipate. But yeah, tumblers are dope. I'm a convert. Brooke says, not much. Gonna see Alien Romulus this weekend. Oh, fuck yeah. Plus invited a friend over tomorrow after work. Nice. David says, good luck with both. Hope you get the job you want. Thanks, bro. Me too. Start watching a bit of Stranger Things. Yeah, that's on my list as well, since I have yet to watch a frame of it. Oh, and thank you for your good wishes as well, Brooke. But yeah, I'm definitely looking to see Alien Romulus this weekend in a cheap matinee. What the hell is going on this week? Oh yeah, we're well, maybe after brunch. Bun Sauce, what's going on? Have you mowed the lawn? Matter of fact, I was mowing just this morning. Yeah. I was chopping grass this morning. What are you doing over there, Malice? Mommy's over there. You gotta get over there before she, really needs to go to the bathroom, so you can be there to challenge her. Nope. Bag of clothes it is. Good man, good that I mowed, or you're doing good? I'm not sure. But I want to know. Or is it both? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. All right. Both? Cool. Very cool. So, anything interesting going on with anybody? Or shall we just dive on into all the goodness? Because there's a chonk. There is a fair chonk. Not chunk, chonk with an O. Matthew says, I'm feeling a little better. Good. Hopefully it'll be a better new season upcoming. Summer was good, but August was horrible. I could have done without a third COVID. Yeah. We've each had what, 2? Babe, we've each had 2 COVIDs? We've each had COVID twice? Yeah. Matthew just got over his third, is just now getting over his third. Yeah. Yeah, COVID's a bitch. What's up, Griff? Are we talking about Blade tonight? Did I miss something? I wasn't aware there was any Blade news of any significance. Other than it still needs to be written the rest of the way, and they still need a director. Don't be depressed that you never got it, Bun Sauce. That's not something to regret. 'Cause it sucks. I'm lucky though. Like neither time did I lose my sense of taste, which is good because I know people who have. Matter of fact, my stepdaughter lost her sense of taste when she had the COVIDs, and it's still fucked up. That and her friend Saray, both of them lost their taste, and their taste buds are still completely fucked from it. There's been some improvement, they say. But, yeah. So I'm glad that didn't happen because, I like my food. I like my food to taste the way I'm used to it fucking tasting. Griff. Oh, you heard they might be canceling it? Do you have a link? Because I would love to see that shit. Star, what's going on? You don't mind if Spider-Man 4 is in Battle World? Yeah. I mean, that's possible now. I don't know if it's going to be in Battle World, but yeah, things are changing for sure, and we will be getting into that. Matthew says you never got... Oh, damn, I never got mine back except for really sweet or salty things. Well, I mean, that's one of the literal best flavor combinations on Earth, so, I mean... That sucks so much ass, but, I mean, it could be worse. You could be stuck with only being able to taste, like, bitter things. I mean, personally, at that point, I'd rather be stuck with no taste than only be able to taste bitter. But my taste buds are skewed so far over to sweet, it's fucking insane. I'm pretty sure I've talked about that before. Stanley, did I say hi to you? If not, I'm sorry. Hi. Ooh, Black Ops 3 Zombies yesterday for Brooke. Nice. Or something is really spicy but no refined taste. Now that blows. No refined taste is blows because just blows. Because layers of flavor is where it's fucking at. So that sucks booty holes. Brooke says, honestly, I'm excited for the RDJ Doom appearance in the upcoming Fantastic Four film. Yeah, well, I mean, it's gonna be a post-credit. Now, the question is will it be like a longer post-credit? Because they've had shorter ones and they've had longer ones. And I feel like this one will be and honestly should be a longer one. You can't just give us 30 seconds of Doom to bring him in. Like, you need to bring him in. Even if you don't show him right away, you need to show, like, the result of what he's doing at that moment. Like, you could show, like, you could literally show, like, say, the Council of Kings being destroyed. You could show that in 2 minutes and then finish it off with RDJ Doom at the end just standing there like... Doom is satisfied. You know? That'd be sick. Jay said that tonight. Really? Is that a video on his page? Because we can watch that together and see what the fuck's up with that. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Is that on his page? Or channel, I mean? Deadpool Wolverine made over $1 billion, yeah. And counting. It's going to be interesting to see how much it gets to. I feel like 1.3 at this point is kind of almost a given. I'm wondering if it's going to hit 1.5. I mean, because if it manages to catch fucking Inside Out 2, can you imagine an R-rated movie catching a massive family movie like that in terms of box office? That would be nuts. I mean, it literally owns every R-rated movie box office record there ever was, and I think maybe created a couple, 3 more. So, I mean, it's already a historical movie in a few different categories, not just R-rated movie box office categories. It's well, maybe mostly just that. I don't fucking know, but it's ridiculously significant. Okay, shit, leave me alone. Anyway, yeah, love to talk about Blade. To be honest, I love. Yeah, oh no, yeah, I love the original Blade films. Okay, I don't love Trinity, but I like it. I definitely don't dislike it as much as a lot of people do. I got to remember that one for like the next time they do they start passing around like that meme with the homie from Tangled with all the swords at his head. And it's like, what movie opinion has people like this? Or what hot take ears has people like this? I got to remember to bring up Blade Trinity when I do that one. Oh, it's on his Patreon page? Oh. Damn. He made a short about it on his channel? You couldn't even get through Trinity, Matthew? It wasn't that bad. I swear it wasn't that bad. Of course, there's a lot of people that think the other guys is hilarious, and I couldn't make it more than 15, 20 minutes into that motherfucker, so. There's versions of Will Ferrell. Some I like, some I absolutely can't stand. And the other guys was the one I couldn't fucking stand. You and your brother hated it? I mean, there were a lot of people that did. For sure. I was not one of them. You watch the Blade films late at night during Thanksgiving weekend? Nice. Yeah, every once in a while I'm just like, you know what? It's time to watch motherfuckers try to ice skate uphill. And I turn on Blade movies. Second one, we were like, this is awesome, says Matthew. The Del Toro one, yeah. You loved Hellboy, he hated it. Now, when you say Hellboy, are you talking Ron Perlman Hellboy? Or the newer Hellboy? Because Mrs. Chillin loves Ron Perlman Hellboy. She wants no part of new Hellboy. And I don't blame her. I've watched trailers for the newer Hellboy. It does not look that great. Oh, we'll get to trailers as well, too. The first movie? Okay. Well, Mrs. Chillin loves the Ron Perlman Hellboy. David says, I thought the first 2 Blades were serious and the third too much comedy. I mean, I can definitely understand why people would think there's too much comedy. Personally, I think a serious Ryan Reynolds would like glitch me for like an hour. Like if I watch an entire movie with Ryan Reynolds in it and not one joke happened, I would turn the movie off at the end and just stare at nothing for an hour because I would be glitched. It would be so weird. Oh, Brooke says, yeah, I meant to say nighttime is the perfect time to watch Blade, especially during the winter season. I mean, yeah, it's totally valid. Matthew loves Golden Army. Nice. Do you like Golden Army? Isn't that Hellboy 2? All right. Are we ready to get into this Marvel-y stuff? Gotta pull one thing up. I thought I had everything pulled up, and I was incorrect. Just gotta do this. Oh, shit. I gotta do it the other way. Okay, yep. TH1 is muted. Pause. What are you doing, weirdo? Okay. That's odd. Man, he says, I wanted a third from Del Toro. I still want his second Pacific Rim over whatever that crap was. Oh, yeah. I mean, really, all right, give me just a second. I gotta see what the fuck's up with this crap. Okay, it's just doing that to do that. Weirdo. Stupid hunk of shit. All right. Okay. I think I might have all this shit good to go now. Maybe, possibly, except for one thing. I'll be right back. Alrighty then. David says, wasn't Ryan Reynolds serious in a film called Safe House? I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I don't know. Oh, actually, he was pretty serious in that Amityville reboot he did, now that I'm thinking about it. But that's a horror movie. Like, I don't actually consider Blade horror. You know? That's not a horror movie to me. It's a comic book movie that happens to have traditional horror elements, but I've never considered Blade a horror movie. It's just a comic book movie that has vampires, which is good. So, he was very not wisecracky at all in Amity, or maybe just a very smidge. Excuse me. But I haven't called. Okay, I know what Safe House is. I've heard of it, but I haven't actually watched it. So, all right. First thing we're gonna do is first I need to remember to deal with my music here. Shoosh. Okay. First thing we're gonna do is we're all gonna watch this Craven trailer. If you haven't seen it, you're about to, and if you have, we're about to go over it anyway. And we're going to see if, well, I don't think Josh's stream has been taken down yet, and he let it roll with the Johnny Cage music. So, Johnny Cash music, Johnny Cage. Fucking Mortal Kombat. Anyway, Kraven trailer we got today. Oops. First I gotta do that, and then I gotta actually
The greatest,
and then try again. There we go.
my son. We are hunters. The greatest the world has ever known.
Охотник, это сказки.
Каждой сказки есть правда.
Okay. Well, actually.
Who's next?
All right, so to that point, it would appear to me that Mr. Kraven here purposefully got himself into that prison just to kill that one motherfucker who didn't believe he existed, and then escape, and then come back here to presumably
Who's next?
Calypso, I believe is who that's supposed to be. And I believe she's introduced in the animated Spider-Man, if I recall what I previously heard before. Matthew says, that is a film I would totally buy in 4K. 1995 Mortal Kombat. Love Christopher Lambert, a.k.a. the Highlander as Raiden. Yes, Mrs. Chillin loves that fucking movie too, and so do I. Mortal Kombat! Okay. But yes, I agree. That would be dope, Matthew. So yeah, looks like that was someone that he wanted dead and got himself into prison and killed his ass and then got the fuck out and moved on with life and came back to Calypso.
Next.
I heard the noise of thunder.
Are you like your father? A gangster? A killer?
And I heard a voice. And behold, hell.
Okay. So, as we saw, he was digging animal traps out of the ground and using them. Now, we all know, if we're a Nerdventure, that Josh has been freaking out about Kraven, the animal rights activist. And, of course, that only seemed to confirm that. Now, here's the thing about that. And I'm going to be splitting hairs a little bit here. But there's a big difference between Kraven going like Super PETA and going after any kind of hunter on the planet, or one specific type of hunter known as a poacher. I think he's just going after poachers. I don't think he's going after people with, like, you know, the licenses and all that shit. I think he's just straight going after, you know, poachers, the people going after the ivory and all that shit. So, that in and of itself, I really don't have a problem with, honestly. I mean, considering what he is coming from the comic books, that is a little, but then again, if you think about it, like, humans are the apex predators only because we have technological advantage, but it's still true. So, killing humans is still, like, you know, the biggest challenge for him. So, in that way, from a certain point of view, it fits. Not ultra comic accurate, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be as much of a departure as, like, say, Josh does. But we'll see.
Followed with him. There's a man going round taking names.
My son.
And he decides who to free. and who to blame.
There's an animal stronger than you can imagine.
The hairs on your arm will stand up.
Tell me about this hunter.
Some are born and some are dying.
Once you're on his list, there's only one way off.
When the man comes around. When the man comes around. Whoever is unjust.
You think you're some kind of honor?
Okay, I gotta give credit. The action does look pretty good. I will say that the action looks pretty good.
Some kind of code.
He'll be unjust.
You're just another man
Whoever is righteous,
hunting for a trophy.
let him be righteous still.
Just like our father.
When the man comes around. When the man comes around.
Embrace who you really are, son. And you will become a legend.
When the man comes around. When the man comes around.
So that was the Craven trailer. Now that you have it fresh in your mind, how do you feel about it? Was it a cool trailer? Did it affect your interest in the movie in any way, shape, or form? When do we get a Superman trailer? Matthew wants to know. Well, people are hoping New York City Comic Con. But honestly, nobody has a fucking clue. Nobody knows currently. Star says, looks promising. Griff says, I'm going to give it a shot. Okay. Brooke says, trailer looks kind of epic. Well, the fight scenes do. I will grant you the fight scenes do look pretty sweet. David says, looks nice and violent. I'm in. All right. But he says, never read the comic. I'm a Wolverine guy. I mean, fuck yeah. All right. Star says, for Superman, I'm not too hyped for. If the trailer intrigues, then I'll give it a shot. I definitely wouldn't, just to talk about Superman real quick, I'm not hyped. I'm hopeful. I'm not hopeful necessarily because Gunn's doing it. I'm just hopeful because Superman and DC needs a win. Like bad. Stanley, is it 15 or 18 certificate? Are you talking about Craven? I'm gonna guess 18. It's rated R here, so I'm guessing it's an 18 certificate if you're talking about ages, or if you're even talking about the rating for Craven. Like I'm guessing. I honestly am not sure what you're talking about, but if it's that, then it's 18. Man, it says the trailer was decent-ish though. Yeah, it was an R8 trailer. Yeah, the action and the violence does look pretty cool. I mean, he split the homie with a log. Like, instead of us using that one machine to split the log, he used the log to split the homie. So that was pretty cool. And, like, the action looks pretty dope, I will say. Yeah, the action does look good. I think it's an alright trailer. I don't think the story itself looks compelling at all. I am probably not going to go to the theater to watch. I'm not going opening weekend. I will say that. However, if okay, yeah, it'd be 18 certificate then. I'm assuming is your equivalent to the American R rating. But yeah, I'm not going to opening weekend. I'm not that interested in it, even with the action looking cool and bloody. And we all know I love. Whoops. We all know I love gratuitous violence and blood. And if you didn't, now you fucking do. Although if you've been around for more than like 3 streams, you'd know. Star says, "This is mind-blowing." Not really, but it's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I that's fair. That's totally fair. But I mean, to me, it doesn't. It's not screaming, "You must be there opening weekend," or "You must see this movie in the theater." Now, word of mouth could get me to go see it in the theater. Like if people that I follow on the YouTubes or on the TwitX or whatever that whose opinions I trust, whether or not we agree all the time, doesn't mean I trust their opinions any less. So I'll gather up some opinions. I will parse them out, blend them together in my brain, stir it up, and then we'll see if I want to go to the theater for that. But currently, I don't. And it's definitely something I'm gonna. I would put it on a high priority on streaming. Is what I would do. Like if I don't go see it in the theater, it will be like something I watch very soon after it comes out to stream. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's not screaming "See me in the theater," not even with that dope action. Stars it. You didn't see that coming, Quicksilver, right? Yeah, that is the same homie. Stanley says, with the major success of Deadpool 3, I'd expect to see more 18 rated R superhero movies. Oh, you're gonna. If we ever get Blade, that's gonna be R rated. Feige's already said that. I'm pretty sure Gunn is gonna sneak an R rated DC movie in there somewhere. Especially if Peacemaker's involved in it. So yeah. Gunn is not going to be able to do it quickly. He has to get his DCU jump started with Superman being really good before he can even think about doing some shit like that. So, like, if he gets the DCU up and rocking, I think we can count on an R-rated superhero movie coming out of the DC studios at some point. But Superman has to slap first. Like, literally everything DCU, live-action DC, is basically hinging on next July. Pretty much. I don't know if that's not even remotely debatable. Literally, yeah, it all hinges on Superman. At least in the, live entertainment side rather than the comic book side. I actually have no idea how DC's doing on the comic book side. If anyone knows, feel free to let me know, but I have no idea. Star says, I didn't expect Sony to drop a trailer at 3 a.m. Yeah, that was weird. That was definitely, that's odd. It's an odd choice. I mean, it's an odd choice every time Disney decides to release their shows at that point in time, too. That's just stupid. But, I mean, maybe they were trying to hit the European crowd in the morning because 3 a.m. Eastern is 8 a.m. over in the UK. Right, David? And Stanley? Brooke says, hoping Gunn can make a really good dark Batman film. I think Gunn can cause one to happen. I don't know if he could be the one to write or direct it, though. He just needs to green. When it comes to Batman, Gunn just needs to green light and produce. Period. Other than that, stay the fuck away. In my opinion. Matthew says, Man of Steel was the best Superman performed since Reeve. Yes. That is 100% correct. Star says, like Iron Man to MCU, it's Superman to James Gunn DC. Yep. Exactly. In terms of box office, Matthew says. Well, just period. Actually. It's Reeves, then Cavill. Or Reeve, then Cavill. Done. But yeah, you're right, Star. That's the exact same significance. The MCU is... If Iron Man bombs, the MCU doesn't happen. If Superman bombs, James Gunn DC does not happen. Rick says, to be honest, I'm excited for James Gunn's Superman film. Just want to see Superman film at the cinemas again. Been some time. I mean, I understand that, but damn it, if you're going to give me a Superman film, it better fucking be good. Matthew says, people will write off Superman by Gunn if it doesn't make $1 billion. I know Warner Brothers might be different. Critics are a whole nother ballgame. Maybe? I mean, I'm sure there are definitely some people that think that, like, if you with the way things are with comic book movies currently, it does seem like if you have like a true blockbuster like Superman should be, that it should crack $1 billion. I definitely understand that line of thinking, especially after an R-rated Deadpool 3 movie just did it. Of course, that was Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman teaming up, so that will make it a little bit easier than, Superman by himself. But, I mean, we know he's not by himself in the movie. You know what I fucking mean, though. Anyway. I don't think Superman needs to make $1 billion to be a success worthy enough for the DCU to continue. I think if it cracks 800 million, that's a success. Although that also does depend on what the final budget is. Because 800 million might be a success in terms of, all right, that movie did pretty well. 800 million might not be that great depending on the final cost of that motherfucker. So that is also a determining factor. Travis, what's going on? Says, how's it going, guys? I'm hopeful for Kraven, though I think we saw the last scene of the movie in the first trailer. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but probably. Star says, what is the budget for Superman? I don't know. That's the thing. I wonder if that information... I don't think... They just finished shooting. So I don't think that information's available yet. Like, it's got to get through post and all that crap. James Gunn, Superman, budget. Not budger. All right, how old is this? Come on, Pokey. You can do it. That's from February. Is that really the only... Nope, we do not know the budget currently. Brooke says, as long as Superman makes a decent profit, it's probably okay. I mean, yeah. More than likely. I do... It's going to be a combination... I mean, so far as the brass at Warner Brothers goes, how much profit it makes is their primary concern. But it cannot be their only concern. Like, there's got to be a social pop to go with it, because look at Thor: Love and Thunder, for example. That movie still made like 750 some odd million just because it was an MCU Thor movie. After that, like after it came out, that's when it got absolutely destroyed. But it wasn't until after it made most of that money that people were like, wait a minute, this movie's fucking bullshit. So, I mean, we all know that movie is complete garbage, but it still made 750 mil. So it's got to make a decent amount in the theater with a positive feeling in the zeitgeist to go along with it. If that makes any sense. Travis says, I was in the minority who didn't hate Madam Web and would argue it was the best of the Sony spin-offs. It was the only one that felt like a real movie, not an overly blue digital mess set in a lab. Cool. Cool. Dave says, I just noticed there's something missing from your background. It was in front of your Star Wars pop item. Cool. Or was it here? Was that it? Travis says, the scene with Craven sitting in the office with the crossbow, shooting that dude against the wall, felt like it happened. Oh, that one. Felt like it happened right before the credits. That does seem like a... Yeah. Like if they're using it to set something else up, for sure. Star says, honestly, if the majority of the audience love it, then it's a win for Gunn. I mean... Yeah. And also that the majority of the audience loving it would generally mean that the money will come with that, too. So, yes, definitely. Griff's got 3 p.m. tickets for Romulus tomorrow. You motherfucker. Feel free to DM me your honest thoughts. Kevin, welcome in, man. How you doing? Sony Pictures needs a box office win. Yes, they do. Well, specifically the Marvel division of Sony does. Like, the rest of Sony is doing okay. But Sony Marvel, not great. Manny says, the problem with Justice League, well, the initial budget was $300 million, and it didn't even make $700 million. Yep. And the Snyder Cut pushed it almost into a $400 million bracket. Yeah, yeah, the Justice League was a clusterfuck all the way around, but it was cursed by a few things, too. The most significant of which, obviously, is the tragic death of Zack's daughter. Brooke says, speaking of films, definitely seeing Romulus in the cinema. Oh, hell yeah. Still considering on whether I should see Borderlands just to see why its reviews are so bad. That is a question I personally would wait till it comes out on streaming to answer, but, if you want to know that bad, fucking go for it. Matthew says, Justice League was one of the biggest flops of all time and most expensive film since On Stranger Tides. Yeah, it was up there. It's definitely up there. Star says, look at Iron Man 2008 box office. Made $585 million, but it's 91% audience score. Excuse me. Yeah. Well, it also, I don't think it cost that much either. So it had both. David says, no. That wasn't it? Well, what the fuck? It was the Oreos. Here we go. Now we're set. Theo, what's going on, man? What do I think about James Gunn DCU? I think everything hinges on Superman next July. If Supergun. Yeah, if Superman bombs, James Gunn's DCU dies with it. If it kicks ass, he gets to continue. And then he'll be able to have a couple 3 fuck-ups in a row if that happens, as long as Superman goes well. But it's all about the Supermans. Matthew says, Marvel began with modest success and underperforming films, but they had a long-time plan in mind of building a universe. Yeah. Well, I don't know about, I guess a couple of them were underperforming, but they could tell the growth was there, even if it was hiccupy growth, which most growth generally is anyway. Very, very little growth in the business world is actually that nice smooth curve that they're all looking for. It looks like a fucking heartbeat in a hopefully upward trajectory. But it is not smooth. This is a black crap. Okay, yep. Travis says, with the photos we've seen, a surprising amount of Superman looks practical. That with the relatively lesser-known cast, I think this may have a lower budget than we think. I mean, yeah. Well, see, here's the fucked up thing, though. In a lot of cases, practical effects cost more than digital. That's why Hollywood went so hard away from practical. For quite a while, is because it was purely for cost saving, also for aesthetics, but above a certain level it was purely for cost saving, if you know what I'm saying. So but yeah, it's there's finally been enough fan backlash that they're realizing they don't have much of a fucking choice, and they better give some practical effects in there too to ground it. Otherwise we're gonna bitch, and rightfully so, because practical does fucking look better. So, but yeah, I don't think the Superman budget's going to be outlandish, honestly. As long as it doesn't exceed, as long as it doesn't really, 250 is really the most it should be, because a $250 million budget means you got to make almost $700 million just to break even. So they're probably hoping that to get that in at 200 or under, honestly. But we'll see. Matthew says the first Captain America didn't do that good, nor did the Hulk remake. They just didn't cancel all the rest of their movies. No, well, Captain America came out right before Avengers, so they were definitely not giving up at that point. And the Hulk remake, they still had to do a lot of negotiating with I don't fucking remember who in order to even use the Hulk. Matter of fact, I still don't think they completely own the Hulk, even at this point. I might be wrong. They might have him now, but for most of the time they had Hulk, it was a Spider-Man situation. Iron Man was a smash hit, though. Oh, yeah. Huge. The Oreos are still around, Griff asks. Miraculously, yes. Kevin says, Warner Brothers needs box office hit films back-to-back. Just dig out the debt. Zaslav going to sell off Warner Brothers Discovery. Oh, yeah. At this point in time, I am 100% sure he was hired purely to pare that thing down for sale and to make the best deal he can. And then he will take his probably 8-digit fucking 8, maybe even 9-digit final payout and go riding off into the sunset and wait for the next sucker to be like, I need to cut my company to bits and sell it. Where's Zazzy? Star says, oh yeah, the amount of building practical stuff, it's a lot. Not saying CGI isn't a lot, but there's a difference. Oh, yeah. For sure. I mean, you can balance it. That's all I'm saying. You shouldn't go all practical because, then it's all going to start looking like fucking 80s movies again. But you don't want to go completely 100% CGI either because that's also a mistake. You want, pretty, just like pretty much everything else, just find a fucking balance. Sheesh. Travis says, still waiting on a Ninja Turtles movie with practical suits again. Hoping that last Ronin movie goes that route. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Especially when that last Ronin movie is probably going to be R-rated, so they're going to need... Yeah, they're going to need a lot more flexibility than what you'll get in a homie in a turtle suit for the character in terms of movement and, dealing death. So probably not. That's probably going to be a lot of mocap. Travis says, what's the Oreo flavor that should have been nasty, but you liked? Cherry cola for me. I will honestly say that have I ever tried an alternate Oreo flavor or just ate the seasonal ones where they just had food coloring in the shit? I don't think I've ever tried one that I ever thought would be nasty. Like, I just wouldn't volunteer for that, I guess. I've tried different Oreo flavors, but I've only tried ones I'm like, ooh, that looks good. So, T.O. says, my prediction is that James Gunn DCU won't make it to Swamp Thing. It's not so much because it bombs, but Superman alone won't save DC Warner, which will lead to Batman at Universal and Supes at Sony. Well, I hope you're wrong about Supes because with the job Sony's doing with Marvel right now, I really don't want them to fucking touch DC and Superman. You know? Star says a Superman budget is $300 million. It needs to hit $750 million in the box office to have profit and, of course, success. Yep. Yeah. Well, no, it needs to hit $750 million to break even. That's the break-even point of the $300 million budget. So yeah, they don't want that budget to be that high. They probably want it right around. If they keep it right around 200, that means they'd only need to hit 500 million to break even. So that would be good. Because I still feel like just because people be hyped for finally getting a Superman. When did fucking Man of Steel come out? Is that 2010? 2012? When the fuck did Man of Steel come out? God dang it. I can't remember shit anymore. 2013. Okay. So, by the time the Gunn Superman movie comes out, it'll have been... Let's do that. So what? It'll been about 11 years since a Superman solo movie we've gotten. So yeah, people will be hype about it. Yeah, 2013. I think people will be hype about it. So I can see this movie hitting 700 just because it's a fucking Superman movie. To do better than that, it's going to have to be really good. Matthew says, still can't believe they wasted Cavill and didn't make Man of Steel 2. Yeah, and wasted Keaton's return as Batman. Yep. The new DC could be good, but I have complaints on the old guard. Yeah, well, the old guard is basically gone. So that's why it's all on James now. What's up, Spidey? Actually not much. So far, we've just gone over the Kraven trailer, and now we're just having a cool conversation about currently Gunn's Superman movie. Trevor says, Gunn managers to do a great 45 minutes Guardian special with almost no action. which was partially due to him using sets for Guardians 3. I think we're going to see reused sets with DC. I mean, that'd make fucking Zazzy happy. Anything that makes money makes Zazzy happy, so it wouldn't surprise me. Brooks says, Man of Steel was such a good movie. Yes. Star says, yeah, exactly. Budget for Iron Man 2008 was $140 million. Yep. So, yeah. So, and it made, what, 580, you said? So, what, 280, 70? Yeah, it only needed yeah, they made, like, almost $300 million in profit on that movie. Yeah, that probably made them quite happy. Travis says, given how much of his phase is planned out, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of this stuff is being filmed at the same time, using the same sets and actors, which would save a lot on the budget. I mean, that would be practical, except for the fact that he really doesn't have any, like, scripts or directors or actors for hardly anything outside of Superman right now. Everything else is just in development at this point. For the most part. Punisher, I think, is in production. Season 2. What is that? Fucking Creature Commandos we're actually supposed to get this fall, aren't we? Someone help me out on that one. But, yeah. I don't think that's actually happening because I don't think any other, especially cinematic projects, are anywhere near that far along in development. Like, I know for a fact they don't even have a script for the Batman movie yet. So, Spidey says, cool, I'll be watching and reacting to Kraven later tonight and the Marvel Star Wars trailers from D23 that are available. Right? Cool. Yeah. Yeah, just a quick TLDR for me. It was a decent trailer. The action looks sick. The story does not look compelling at all. So, I'm not... At this point, I'm waiting for streaming, but it'll be high on my streaming list. Unless, like, you know, a lot of good word of mouth comes out, and then I'll go see it in the theater. But it's going to be... whether I walk into a theater or not is going to come down to word of mouth, basically, is what... Yeah, that. What are people thinking about... Well, that's what I think. Chat? Spidey would like to know what you guys thought of the Kraven trailer. T.O. says, well, Gunn said no reshoots. His movie must be 10 out of 10 or he's just really overconfident and arrogant, which DC Warner doesn't need right now. Yeah, he did. I mean, he gave a whole list of his practices to explain why he doesn't think he's going to need to do any reshoots. So, I mean, my reaction to that on Twitter was, well, we'll see next July whether or not you should have done some reshoots there, Jimmy. Matthew says, reusing sets and volume will what the Mando and Grogu movie do along with the 4K Alexa. I mean, yeah, probably. Travis says, Creature Commandos was the one that made me think that as we're already seeing Rick Flagg's dad in all of these. Yeah, except Creature Commandos is animated. So, I mean, he's got a lot of plans on, like, what he wants to do and how he wants to connect everything and stuff. Like, he's got his ideas. But in terms of actually getting those ideas on whatever screen he plans on getting them on, most of them are literally still just ideas that are in various stages of development. A vast majority of which is early development. Spidey says, I went and watched Morbius and Madam Web, so I'll be going to this regardless of its quality. All right. Travis says, also, I'm not a math expert, but Frank Grillo looks really young to have a son who looks like Joel Kinnaman. Well, I didn't know Joel Kinnaman was his son, but I also don't know. Oh, yeah, I don't know how old Joel Kinnaman is either, but I mean, Frank Grillo's got to be in his 40s, I would say, easily. I don't know how old he is, but I'm pretty sure, just looking at him, I'd say he's in his 40s, so. Dio says, Kraven honestly looks okay. I just don't like Rhino's design, especially that nose. I'm not overly impressed with Rhino either. Now, That movie doesn't come out till mid-December. Early December. December. So they still got like 4 months to, get in there and clean out some of that CGI. So by the time that movie actually premieres, Rhino could look a lot better. But right now, yeah, he don't look that good. Star says, oh, Star's talking to Spidey. Nice. All right. Okay. Yeah, we'll just do it that way. Fuck it. Stanley says Craven looks fine, quite like the extreme violence route they've gone with. Yes. Well, yeah. Frank Grillo is 59. Okay, yeah, he can have a kid that looks like whoever that dude is, no matter what. Spidey says, so Rhino's in it and doesn't look particularly impressive. I was a little annoyed when I saw the Rhino tease in a previous trailer. I don't know if it's that he doesn't look impressive. I mean, it depends on how you define impressive. Size-wise, he's impressive. In terms of clean CG, at this point, not so much, but that's just me. Grillo for McClane and a Die Hard reboot. It couldn't be a sequel. No more sequels to Die Hard. It would have to be a reboot. So, yeah, he probably would be a pretty decent McClane. I mean, I guess I'm turning into old curmudgeon guy. I don't even want to fucking, Die Hard reboot. Just, leave my younger life / childhood alone, for fuck's sake, Hollywood. Enough already. Get your own fucking idea. Anyway. Tio says, biggest mate by Gunn and Warner is putting Superman up against F4 and Jurassic Park next year. Big mistake. Maybe. Maybe not. Because Fantastic Four is going to be coming out after Cap 4 and Thunderbolts. Cap 4 has a chance to be decent for something conceived in Phase 4. I don't know about Thunderbolts. So the MCU could be going into Fantastic Four with, if not, just a meh movie for people to have consumed most recently. So I don't know that that's a guarantee. Jurassic, is that Jurassic Park or another Jurassic World? And are we talking that's the one with ScarJo in it? I don't know if that's going to be that big a threat either. I honestly think that's actually going to be a pretty good three-way battle. I don't think anyone is going to smash anybody next July. No, 2026 is where Lucasfilm's going to start getting its lunch eaten because Mando and Grogu comes out the same month as Doomsday. And whatever movie they're putting out at the end of the year is going to be coming out opposite Dune 3. So yeah, Lucasfilm's fucked in 26. Matthew says, why the fuck are we talking about Andor? Andor looks like a real production like they used to make. I was impressed with Season 2 trailer, and I'm not the biggest fan of Rogue One. Oh, yeah, no. Andor, in terms of its technical aspects, story, costume, setting, direction, visuals, and all that shit, is a really, really good and well-produced and well-executed television show. It's just not fucking Star Wars. That's my problem with it. But yeah, no, using all the practical sets and shit they used in Andor, that was fucking great. Well, except for the AKs. But, But yeah, overall, I really liked the practical sets that they used in Andor. I just wish there was actual fucking Star Wars. Grillo would have been a badass Punisher. Just watch the Purge movie he's in. See, I've never watched any of the Purge movies, honestly. But I'm quite happy with Bernthal. Although, I do agree, Grillo could have been a good Punisher. I do agree with that. Star says, yes, I'm happy that they made Rhino size comic accurate and CGI can be better. Yes. Spidey says, I'm actually doing watch-along streams for Andor on Tuesdays right now. I'm up to episode 8 and loving the show so far. I'm told episode 10 is going to wreck me. I'm trying to think of which one 10 is. And I'm glad you're loving it. Like I said, I enjoyed it as a TV show. But, like, the only thing that annoys me about it is they put that Star Wars sticker on it. But, yeah, I'm trying to remember which one episode 10 was. There was that. Wasn't 1, 4, 5, and 6 the prison arc? Or was 7, 8, 9 the prison arc? Because they did 3 episode arcs in that motherfucker. Yeah, I can't remember. David says they should leave Die Hard alone. I agree, 100%. Travis says, one thing Gunn did best is eliminating that line between TV and movies. It used to be seeing an Avengers actor show up in a show would be rare, but he's making it normal. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that will be cool, but again, we gotta get past Superman first. That's like the big Oogie Boogie. Like everything depends on it. Andy says, I didn't like the trailer for Mando and Grogu and Skeleton Crew, and there was no teaser for the Rey movie. In fact, Daisy wasn't even there, nor Kathleen Kennedy at D23. Well, I haven't seen the Mando and Grogu one because I haven't found the leaked footage of it yet. By some miracle, I haven't come across it. I don't know why, because I've seen the leaked footage for all the Marvel ones. Yeah, Skeleton Crew is just, I don't give a fuck still. No, well, there's no teaser for the Rey movie because they haven't started shooting yet. And, yeah, Daisy was not there. She's been diagnosed, unfortunately, with Graves' disease. That really fucking blows dog. And Kathleen wasn't not there. She just wasn't at the Star Wars panel. She went to the, whatever that fucking awards presentation was. And, because she was on stage talking about John Williams when they gave whatever award they were giving out to him, among other people. Disney Legends. That's what it was. Yeah, she was there for the Disney Legends Awards ceremony, but in terms of, like, the panels in general, no. I don't think she went to one panel. Travis says, legit, know nothing about Dune except Sting wore a Speedo, and there's a guy named Duncan Idaho who dies and comes back at some point. Yeah, I honestly haven't watched a frame of any Dune movie yet. Actually, I take that back. I think I watched the original Dune back in college. I haven't watched either of the new Dunes, but the new Dunes are immensely popular. So, yeah, Dune, I believe it's going to be called Messiah. Dune Messiah will absolutely crush whatever movie Disney or whatever Lucasfilm movie gets put out opposite. And if they're holding to their original rumored schedule, that will be the Rey movie that gets demolished by Dune Messiah. Stanley says, KK apparently has said she wants to retire on a high note, but I don't really see that happening anytime soon. Yes, that is the rumor, is that she's actually been wanting to go for a while, but she wants to go out with a dub. Yeah, in general, I agree with you, Stanley. I don't really see that happening, but here's why we need to start now. Right now. We need to start the campaign. Everyone... Literally, everyone needs to go see fucking Mandalorian and Grogu. So that makes such a shit ton of money. She gets her dub and gets the fuck out. That's our earliest opportunity to give her a dub. So we must go see the Mandalorian and Grogu. We must see it multiple fucking times in the theater. That movie must make a shit ton of money so she will trot her stupid ass out the fucking door. Episode 10, I believe, is One Way Out. Oh! Okay, yeah. Then, yeah, okay. 4 to 6 is the Aldhani raid. Oh, right. Okay. That's right. 7 was Andor trying to get Marva to leave with him, but she wouldn't because she... Okay, yep. 10 is the prison break arc. Okay, yeah. 8 is Andor in prison and adjusting. You missed that then? Yeah, a lot of people did. Like, I only know that because I heard about it and then I saw a visual backup later, but yeah. But yeah, as for her being a participant in any of the major panels, nope. She did not, and that was actually probably a good fucking decision. Man says, I totally forgot Iger was there with Harrison. I must have blotted it from my mind. Maybe. Brooks says, Doom films are pretty good. Better on the second watch for you. Cool. I still have to have my first watch. And really, I should watch the original before I watch the new ones any damn way. Star says, I'm interested in both Thunderbolts and Cap 4. Thunderbolts reminds me of Escape Room, also for Fantastic Four. I have hopes for that movie, too. He also says, Dune 2 is the best movie of the year, in my opinion. Everything about it was spot on, especially at the theaters. Well, I didn't see it, but my personal best, obviously, is going to be Deadpool and Wolverine. And although, we'll see about Romulus. I think Romulus could... I think the rest of this year, Romulus is the only movie for me that'll be able to give Deadpool any competition. I do have high hopes for Fantastic Four. I do not have the trepidation that many people seem to have about Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. Pascal's a badass actor, and if you can admit he's a badass actor, you shouldn't be worried about his ability to play Reed. So there. Yeah. I mean, they're going to have a real Galactus in it, not a fucking stupid-ass cloud. They're going to have Shalabal as the surfer, which is fine because they're not even going to be in the 616 anyway. But if they fuck around and don't make Norrin Rad the 616 Silver Surfer, then I will lose my shit. But we won't know about that till 2027 at the absolute earliest. So there's time. But I think Cat 4 might be better than originally thought. Thunderbolts will be what it is. My main concern, honestly, is whether or not they fuck up Sentry. Like, literally, how they treat Sentry will make or break that movie for me. Like, if everything else is pretty cool, but they fuck up Sentry, fuck you people. Like, if everything else sucks, but Sentry's awesome, cool. If by some miracle we get both, fucking A. Matthew says, Harrison does deserve a Legends Award, but for Disney? Maybe the Captain America movie? No, it's because Disney owns Lucasfilm now. That's why he gets a Disney Legends Award for everything he did for Lucasfilm, i.e. Han Solo, Blade Runner. I think, was Blade Runner in Lucasfilm or was that somebody else? But definitely Han Solo and Indiana Jones is Lucasfilm, so yeah. And now that Disney owns them, he gets a Disney Legends Award. Travis says, the ultimate Hail Mary, which will not happen, is if Superman shows up in Secret Wars. Crazy, but it could happen. No, there's not going to be any kind of DC Marvel crossover on screen for many years, if ever at all. Star says, yeah, I'm not bothered by Pedro playing Reed. Also, Joseph as the Human Torch will nail it. I hope so. A lot of people are freaked out about that costume. I was never freaked out by it. The first time I saw it, I thought it was quite jarring. But then I remembered that that's supposed to be a costume from the 60s, and I was like, okay, well, that actually makes sense. But it's still jarring. Travis says, the fear I have with Cap 4 is I'm not sure if they've successfully communicated Harrison Ford as Ross in the marketing. Maybe it's just me. Honestly, I don't know. I think I really honestly am in no position to pronounce on that just because like I know that so well and have known that for a while that I can't really put myself in the position of that much of a normie at this point. So, yeah, I don't know. That's entirely possible, but I wouldn't be able to realize it. Because that's been a given for me for like a long time. Davis says, when KK leaves, will all her underlings still be there? If so, what chance does Star Wars have? Well, most of the time, when you get a new CEO in, they tend to want to bring their team in with them, or at least tend to want to have absolutely nothing to do with the existing bunch that's there, unless, a member or two of said bunch really manages to prove their worth. But I anticipate a pretty thorough house cleaning for whoever takes over Lucasfilm next. Just on general business principles, I'm anticipating a pretty thorough house cleaning. Blade Runner is with a defunct company owned by Alan Ladd Jr. Okay. Maddie says the only reason Star Wars got made is the only reason Blade Runner got made. Someone like Laddie willing to take the risks the bean counters now will not do. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty valid. Star says, first time seeing the costume, I was like, that's too much white. But the stuff was accurate. But then the suit started to grow on me, and I love it now. The suit isn't for combat. They are scientists. I mean, yeah, that's totally valid. At that point in time, that's not... Well, I mean, no. I mean, if it's already the 4, they probably already have their powers, so... But yeah, I think I think mostly it's just following a pretty good, accurate 60s motif. So, really, what the fuck? Exactly, it's the 60s and retro. All right. Damn, we've been on that tangent for a minute. Yeah, well, I mean, that futuristic too. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. It's supposed to be... In that universe, they're farther along technologically than we are, but also similar still. So, like, they're going to have flying jets and cars, but their clothes are still going to be retro. You know what I mean? Sort of like a Marvel version of steampunk, I guess, where you got the two combined, like, awesome tech, but still like old schooly looking shit. Who do you think is playing Herbie the robot in Fantastic Four? There was rumblings of Ricky Gervais, which I wouldn't hate. Exactly, man. You like the Jetsons. Yeah, I think the Fantastic Four universe, at least the one they start in, that planet, their version of Earth, is going to feel probably a lot very Jetsons-like. I feel like that's the vibe they're going for. Who's going to play Herbie the robot? There was a name floating around, and I don't think it's been complete. No. Actually, I have no clue, because there was a couple names that came up, but then they ended up being other people. Like the one dude that's going to be playing Mole Man, he was originally thought that could be Herbie, but then he ended up being Mole Man. What's her fuzz that's now playing the Thing's girlfriend, the blind chick. It was thought maybe, since her snark is well known, it was thought maybe she was going to be Herbie, but now she's going to be what's her fuzz. Names escape me. Yeah, at this point, I don't think news of who's playing Herbie has come out in any way, shape, or form. I don't know if that's because no one knows. I don't know if that's because no one really gives a shit. Paul Walter Hauser. All right, if that's what I'm thinking of, he's going to be Mole Man. Look the homie up right now. Oh, oops. Walter. Yes. Yes. Wham. Oh, yeah, that dude. Pretty sure he's going to be the Mole Man. Yep, he's gonna be the Mole Man probably. The one actress is gonna be the Thing's girlfriend, the Thing's blind girlfriend. Malkovich is probably gonna be her dad, who's also a villain, whose name again escapes me. Dear God, I need to brush up on this shit. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Paul Walter Hauser is going to be Mole Man. The fuck? There we go. Star says, also, I don't understand why some people got mad that Galactus isn't big. He can manipulate his height and project himself what others see him at. Who's mad that he ain't big? He's huge. Like that one image where he was looking into a building, it was literally just his fucking eye. Like if the camera's the window, this was Galactus' eye. Like, he was fucking big. So, people can shut up. And obviously, when he's coming in from space, he'll probably be bigger. And like you said, he can manipulate his own size. So, he probably shrank down a little bit. But, you know, still large enough to have his fucking eyeball peeking in like an upper story window and taking up the whole window with just his fucking eyeball. So, yeah, they can just shut the hell up. Right, he says, I love Jack Kirby New Gods. I'm almost glad DC hasn't ruined that. Love his run on X-Men. I remember those silly Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. I remember those silly Superman's pal Jimmy. Okay, yeah. Exactly, Star. So, yeah. All right. Boink. You guys ready to move on? Actually, here's what I'll do. We're going to do this. We're going to center that right there. And instead of looking at this stupid-ass scene while I disappear for a couple minutes, I'm going to let you look at Spider-Man and Wilson Fisk. Do I think our Doom is from this Fantastic Four universe or another? When you say our Doom, are you referring to RDJ or are you referring to the post-reboot 616 Doom? If you're talking about the RDJ Doom, supposedly he's not going to be from the Fantastic Four universe. So whatever he's doing in the post-credit scene for Fantastic Four is going to be taking place in yet another universe that is neither that one nor the 616, and I'm guessing probably not the 838 either. So, currently, no. He's not from the F4 universe, and he's not going to be from ours. Post-reboot, we will have a 616 Doom. Whether it'll still be RDJ or whether it'll be a recast somebody post-Secret Wars, I do not know. That we're waiting to see on that one. But as it stands now, no. He's RDJ Doom is just going to be from some universe somewhere. Mole Man like Hans Mole Man from the Simpsons? No. I don't think so. Is RDJ in Fantastic Four? In a post-credit. He will not be in the main movie at all. We will not see Doom in the main movie. The main movie is about Fantastic Four, Galactus, and Shalabal as the Surfer. We will get our first look at RDJ Doom in a post-credit scene. So, in a year, we'll see him in costume, hopefully doing something interesting for at least 2 minutes. No, none of the stupid ass 30-second fucking post-credits like the Avengers one where we got to listen to the whatever the fuck that thing was called. Talk about us being unruly and therefore can't be rolled, and then, you know, the turnaround Thanos smile. That was a short post-credit. We got a longer post-credit after Winter Soldier with the twins and stuff. That was a longer one. So hopefully we get one that long, if not a little bit longer. So same for the sequel, a.k.a. Avengers Doomsday. Well, we got to introduce the fact that he's around, at least. You know, got to have a couple hints of him. Just like we got a couple 3 hints of Thanos before Infinity War. Got to run, Griff? All right, man. Have a good night, buddy. Hope you enjoyed, like, the 2 subjects we talked about. See you later, man. Travis says, I wonder if in this alternate Fantastic Four movie, it's Reed who became the technological revolutionary instead of the Starks. I mean, I'm going to say yes. I don't know about instead of, but first is what I'll say. Like, he was ahead of, I mean, assuming the Stark family went the way it did. Although, actually, I'm pretty sure, actually, no. Yeah, he probably would have had to instead of, because now that I'm thinking about it, the Fantastic Four are the only superheroes on that earth. Period. So, yeah, probably. Spidey Librarian says, I'm not upset about the Spidey Kingpin thing. There's been nothing really solid about the story so far, and there's a lot of material they could choose from to cover. That's true. I mean, we're going to get into that after I give up reading chat and go handle a little bit of business. And by business, I mean go and tinkle. Man, it says, who's going to be Disney's Green Goblin or Magneto? Well, Disney can't have Green Goblin because Sony still owns the movie rights to him as a Spider-Man character. So, whoever Sony casts and allows us to use, or allows Marvel Studios to use or cast. But it all has to go through Sony. If it's a Spider-Man character, it goes through Sony. As for who's going to be Magneto, before Secret Wars, we're going to get Ian McKellen and Fassbender back, I'm pretty sure. After Secret Wars, the new 616 Magneto. That'll probably be a brand new face. I don't think McKellen. Well, McKellen's definitely not doing it, and I don't know if Fassbender wants to do it either. So, Magneto unknown. Green Goblin is that's up to Sony because they still own that motherfucker. All right. Look at the badassness of these two. I'll be back in a wee bit. I'll still turn the music up, though. Oops. Not that much. Alrighty. Matthew says, so MCU should be Willem Dafoe Goblin. I mean, that'd be sick, but, again, like, whatever Sony says is cool is what happens. Like, they could literally, anytime they want, they can be like, Holland's ours, fuck your version of Spider-Man 4, we're going to do our own thing, we'll put it out when we want, blah, blah, blah. They can do that, like, literally anytime they want with that character. I'm not sure how Kingpin fits in, though. I don't know if he's... Like, because we're using him... I think maybe because D'Onofrio comes from the Netflix Daredevil show. I think maybe that's how Marvel can use him without having to kowtow to Sony first, but... So far as, like, the main Spider-Man villains, like the ones that are mostly just him, Sony got all them motherfuckers. Brooke says, I like the theories Josh has about how Tony potentially became Doom. Yeah, I haven't watched that. I haven't actually watched that video of his yet, but, yeah. No, I agree. It's pretty cool. I'm trying to... What I normally do is I very rarely come up with that shit on my own because my comic knowledge is nowhere near as in-depth as many others. What I do is I check out all the theories out there, and then I decide if, like, one makes sense in its entirety, or sometimes I'll cherry pick, like, I like this, and I like this, and I like this, and then if I can find a way to tie them together, then I do it that way. So... Maddie says, I hope it's Fassbender for Magneto and McAvoy for Professor X. I mean, I'm fucking here for that. I would be totally, like, I honestly think they should keep as many Fox actors as they can. And they should keep as many OG MCU Avengers actors as they can. Post-reboot. You know, if they have to replace them, fine. Fucking recast, I don't care. If they don't want to do it, for whatever reason, they don't want fucking Marvel money and Marvel fame, that, you know, Bob's your uncle. Do what you got to do. But, yeah, definitely. Yep, I agree. Brooke, Fassbender for Magneto. Man, why does my keyboard keep dropping letter James McAvoy for Charles? I don't know. But I knew what you meant. Travis says, makes me wonder if something bad happened to the Starks leading to whatever happened to Tony. Perhaps it was a dimensional race of sorts between Stark's Fantastic Four, the Starks being lost in time and space. Oh, maybe that could be. Hold on, you kept going. My bad. The plot of F4 being Reed trying to find the Starks, realizing they're long gone, and their son has grown up into Doom, who's messed up from being born outside time and space. What if all the dead MCU characters return as new characters, Wanda now being Magneto's daughter or something crazy like that? At least I assume that's what you said. I gotta go back over here because it's stupid fucking heart. Oh, Wanda now being Magneto herself? Oh, that'd be interesting. Hey, look, we're watching myself. Yeah, I mean that's possible. Except for oh, okay. So you think Howard and F4 went on a dimensional race? The fuck? Howard and the Reeds or the Richardses went on the Starkses and the Richardses, or maybe even just Howard and the Richards crew went on a race to another dimension, which potentially Howard won, but at the cost of being who the fuck knows where. And then the Fantastic Four are going to try and find him. Don't find him. But somewhere outside that universe and a lot of others, a young Tony Stark has grown up into a fucked up form of Victor Von Doom. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. Although I am personally inclined to think that they cast RDJ for a reason, which means that this Doom is somehow going to be a form of Tony Stark. Now, why he ends up calling himself Victor Von Doom, that's the fun part that we're all trying to figure out right now, but I don't see any reason why they would cast RDJ as Victor Von Doom unless they're planning on using his face to fuck with, 616 characters. Especially Tom Holland. So I am convinced he's going to be some form of Tony Stark variant. Now, again, the fun part is trying to figure out how he went from how this particular version of Tony Stark ended up going by the name Victor Von Doom and acting like Victor Von Doom does. And he says, I think Black Widow is going to stay dead. I'd be super surprised if Scarlet returned. I wouldn't be surprised if she filmed a quick scene or two just for Secret Wars. I do agree if she does come back even for Secret Wars, it ain't going to be in any large capacity, I don't think. Like, it'll be a cool, holy shit, there's ScarJo again, woo! And then, that'll be the end of that after a couple, 3 minutes or so, but I think we'll probably at least get that much in Secret Wars, you know what I'm saying? Travis says there's also a world where RDJ's Doom is stuck in the dimension the Fantastic Four leaves, only for Galactus to annihilate the whole thing after they're gone, becoming Doom in that universe. Possible. Like I said, there are many roads to how a Stark could end up being a Doom. Many, many roads. The fun part is seeing which person is right. Or whose theory is right, I should say. Matthew says, or if they brought back Thor, Cap, and Iron Man in a film with the original cast. Yeah, it's Secret Wars. Are you talking about a separate one? Yeah, that's not happening. Well, that's what Secret Wars is for. Spidey says, Scarlett's done with Marvel Disney. The contract dispute was the final nail in the coffin. She doesn't want anything to do with them now. She's producing a show for Disney Plus. So, that's not 100% true. Travis says that kind of goes to the original vision of that 2015 Fantastic Four movie before it was all screwed up. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I see where you're going with that. I mean, yeah, but yeah, they done fucked that up hard. Holy shit. Stanley says, yeah, Scarlet, I doubt return. Yeah, but yeah, she actually is going to be. Last I knew, she had actually signed up to produce a show for Disney, a Marvel show for Disney Plus. So there's that. Davis says, we are going through time and space multiverse bullshit. Let's have Tony Stark go back in time and rescue his great-great-great-great-grandfather, Ned Stark, from the beheading. Well played, sir. Well played. Fucking thing. All right. Let's talk about this fucking headline. All right? God damn it. So, according to Marvel Film News via the Cosmic Circus, and also Deadline brought this up as well, the face-off between Spider-Man and Kingpin is expected to be delayed until the next saga. There has been a change in the story for Spider-Man 4. Just real quick, I'll get back in the chat, and then I'm going on a fucking diatribe. Otherwise, we'll never get through this shit. So he says, what's the show? When? Details. I haven't seen or read this. All of that is unknown. At first, people were thinking it was going to be that blonde bombshell thing that had come up. But that's kind of gone away now, so it doesn't know. But it's whatever it's going to be. I don't know as if even in development yet, but it's there. When or what it's going to be, nobody knows. But it's there. Tries instead, Doom is just wandering around wearing a melted garbage bag for a year with no food and is alive somehow. Yeah, that was pretty fucked up. Matthew says Josh Trank Chronicle was decent, but it basically was live action Akira. They literally hired and fired him from Star Wars. I have no idea what you're talking about, but if he was hired by KK, then I'm fine. He was fired. So we'll just leave it at that. So yeah, now as you'll recall, back when we were originally trying to figure out what the hell was going on with this movie, there had been a little bit of a tiff between Feige and Ms. Pascal, because Ms. Pascal wanted a multiverse-heavy movie, and she wanted it out as fast as fucking humanly possible. I think even next year she wanted it. And Feige's like, the fuck, we want to do a nice grounded Spider-Man story like the one that was, set up at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. And so there was some back and forth, and finally... Oh, he directed that piece of shit? Okay. But yeah, so eventually they came to an agreement, and it was probably something along the lines of, all right, Feige will get it out, but it's got to be quick, but it's got to be grounded. Now, it hasn't been, they don't have a director yet, still, for Spider-Man 4. So it's not like it hasn't been started shooting and all that shit, so it's probably not coming out till 26. It's probably going to be that February 26th slot right before Doomsday, or it'll be the one right after Doomsday in July. I'm not sure. But again, based on everything that happened before, we thought, because they're obviously starting the Devil Reigns, Devil's Spidey. All right, got to go get ready for my stream. Nice, man. You have a good stream too, brother. Thanks for popping in, though. Appreciate you. So, like, the going theory was weird. They were going to, they are starting Devil's Reign in Daredevil Born Again, the Devil's Reign story where Kingpin becomes mayor and all that shit. They set that up right at the end of Echo. So that's fucking happening. And then that was basically confirmed in that leaked footage from the Daredevil Born Again trailer that got leaked out where Murdoch and Fisk are talking in a diner, and Fisk's suit, he's got the American flag pin on his lapel. So, and we thought maybe that in Spider-Man 4, since it appeared Kevin had won it's going to be grounded battle. Get the fuck out of here. That we were going to get Devil's Reign finished up in Spider-Man 4. It would no longer appear to be the case. So, and if that's the case, I personally am wondering if that means since it has to end up being moved into 26, if that means Feige had to give on the groundedness of the movie, and it's going to be much more heavily multiversal than like Pascal wanted than what most of us wanted and thought we were going to get. What about the Punisher? He's in Daredevil Born Again. Yeah, we're going to get a fair chunk of Bernthal in Daredevil Born Again for sure. And Foggy and Karen, obviously, in Fisk. And Muse is going to be in this. That's going to be wild. But for more details, we finally got remember how I went over part 1 of Alex Perez's fucking, get out of here. Discord Q&A, and I was hoping it'd come out before Saturday, but it didn't. It didn't come out till fucking Monday. Well, part of it is where some of this Spider-Man 4 info comes out, and it isn't. I have scrolled immediately to the Spider-Man section. There's a shit ton in this Q&A that we could go over, but we're already going through. So maybe we'll go over more of it Saturday, because a lot of it is cool, and I don't think any of it's going to be outdated by Saturday. But let's just go over the Spider-Man Q&A section from the Discord Q&A. Raps fan says, when could we see Spider-Man 4 be released? Alex says, I'm hearing the July 2026 date that Marvel removed from their spot is being given to Sony to release Spider-Man 4. All right, so that would definitely be between Doomsday and Secret Wars, which definitely, at least in my mind, vastly increases its multiversal factor from what we were all hoping it was going to be, which was minimal. Vinny says, Disney has one movie that is scheduled to release between Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Do you know which movie will be released in between the upcoming two Avengers movies? Alex says, looking like Spider-Man 4, but unsure yet. Spidey Goat says, what will Zendaya's role be in Spider-Man 4? Alex says she will be MJ. Am I the only one that feels the duh in that answer? I don't think I am. Spidey Goat says, when will Spider-Man 4 start filming? Alex says, later this year if they want to keep that date. Michael says, do you have any new updates on Spider-Man 4 supporting cast? Would love to know what happens to this version of J. Jonah Jameson, especially since we might get someone to replace J.K. Simmons after Secret Wars. Yeah, that'd be fucking weird. Alex says, J.K. Simmons, I think he will stay in the role post-Secret Wars. No one else can really do it. I mean, that's kind of facts. As for the supporting cast, other characters will be introduced soon, as I hear Peter will be heading to ESU. What is that, Eastern State University? There's also a chance that Ned will return. Yeah, allegedly, potentially, Ned could end up actually turning him into Hobgoblin at some point. That's a very tenuous rumor, but it is out there. iCast05. Any chances we see the return of the cured Spider-Man villains from No Way Home in Avengers Secret Wars? Alex says, I'd love to have them back, but I don't really know. Cristobal 1962 says, if you were a betting man, would you say we'll see Tom Holland's Spider-Man get the symbiote in Spider-Man 4 or Avengers Secret Wars like the comics? Alex says, I'm thinking Secret Wars. Now, see, that's interesting because there was a rumor that Holland would die at the end of Spider-Man 4. Like, funeral and all that shit, and then the symbiote would, soak its way into the ground and into his coffin and heal him and resurrect his ass, and we'd have Black Suit Spider-Man for Secret Wars and shit. Arno20 says, how big of an influence can we possibly expect the symbiote to have on Peter, psychologically and character-wise, in the MCU? Especially if they go for a comic-accurate route and make him have for Secret Wars. Alex says, a big one. Here's where we get it. Mothman9583 says, do you know if Kingpin is still in the script for Spider-Man 4? Do you think we'll get an MCU Norman Osborn or Otto Octavius? Alex says, there's been a story shift for Spider-Man 4. It's very likely that the storyline with Kingpin might be saved for post-Secret Wars. I'll know more about that soon. As for MCU Norman or Otto, not yet, but soon. Now, see, here's the thing. There is no MCU Spider anything. It's all Sony. It's all on loan to Marvel Studios. Tom Holland is not MCU Spider-Man. Tom Holland is Sony Spider-Man being loaned to Marvel Studios. That's what we all need to remember. All those characters, all three versions of Spider-Man, Tobey, Andrew, Tom Holland, Sony. Norman Osborn, Sony. Otto Octavius, Sony. Electro, Sony. Sandman, Sony. All that shit, even though we've seen it under the MCU auspices, especially No Way Home, and then the, Civil War and the three eponymous Spider-Man movies. But none of that happens without Sony going, cool. So, technically, no Spider-Man character under Sony's movie rights is an MCU character. An MCU version of those does not exist. It is all fucking Sony. Stanley's. All right, man. See ya. Matthew says, and they didn't cancel Ironheart despite the... Yeah, I know. They should have. Travis says, personally found people forgetting Peter exists to be convoluted and dumb. I kind of hope Wong comes in, gets annoyed, and undoes the spell. As a Sorcerer Supreme, it seems logical he would know. I mean... I don't know if it was convoluted and dumb. I mean, it made sense inside the movie. Like it was him fucking up Strangest Spell in the first place that allowed the multiversal shit to happen. So it makes sense that he's going to have to suffer something to fix it. But we'll see. Brick says, it'll be interesting to see how Peter adapts after the end of No Way Home, especially since how people forget about him for a while. Yeah, that it will be fun. Dick Trickle, welcome in. Says, I'm tired of the garbage Spider-Man releases. Are you talking about Sony's Spider-Man universe releases that are all villain movies that actually don't have Spider-Man in them? Then yes, I agree. Brooks says, oh yeah, there were some rumors about Null playing some role back in Venom 3. Would be cool to see if it's true. I mean, god damn it. Sorry about that. I don't think the rumors are that he's actually going to be in it so much as he's just going to be referenced. But that still would be cool. Matthews Gaudet says Spider-Man isn't tied to one actor. That's true. If Holland doesn't want to play it anymore, a week later a new actor would be cast. Well, that only would be if Sony would allow him out of his contract. They could very easily take him to court and force him to play Spider-Man until the end of his contract. Or Holland would have to forfeit and possibly even pay back a whole shit ton of money. So Holland is going to be Spider-Man at least till the end of the contract he has his name on right now. Now, he can easily elect to stop being Spider-Man after that, and Sony won't be able to do shit. But right now, I'm pretty sure Sony will make sure he is Spider-Man until like he legally doesn't have to be anymore. You know what I'm saying? Dick says, I think Russell Crowe should be the next Spider-Man. Not without a whole fuck ton of Vengality, he shouldn't. Mary says, the MCU is about the universe and characters, not the actors. Not a single one is considered irreplaceable by Disney. Ideally, that'd be true, but no. I mean, if that was true, then they wouldn't have bothered to cast RDJ as Doctor Doom. They would have just cast a badass actor as Doctor Doom. But they cast RDJ as Doctor Doom because their plans, more than likely, are to have his face being well known as Tony Stark, is going to play in heavily in some fashion, in some very dramatic fashion. So, as of right now, it kind of actually is about the actors. Mostly because they didn't do well enough in Phase 4 and 5 to make it about the characters. And they've only really recast 3 characters. Ross, Rhodey. Shit, I had a third one. I swear there's a third one. Rhodey. Oh, yeah. Rhodey, Ross, and they never did recast T'Challa. So, did they recast somebody else? But yeah, they're not that big on for the most part, they're not big on fucking around with the actors as they're, at least the super popular ones. most of the Marvel audience sees the actor's face when the character comes up. And when they're reading the comics, they hear RDJ's voice when they see Iron Man on the page. Hell, they got an RDJ sound-alike for the Avengers animated series that came out later. So it actually is, at this point in time, about the actors. Now, after the reboot, that can, and at least to a point, should change. But at least for the next 3 years, it's definitely about the actors. They have to admit they screwed up and bring everyone back. RDJ as Doom is desperation, according to those who hated Phase 4. There is some desperation in it, yeah. Also, it's just fucking badass. You've got the best actor in the MCU, and he is the best actor in the MCU. Coming back to play one of the most iconic villains, not just in Marvel. Doctor Doom is one of the most iconic villains in all of comics. So you got the best actor in the MCU playing one of the most iconic villains in all of comics, being directed by, and by the way, this was a condition of him coming back, the Russo brothers, who directed Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame, 4 of the biggest MCU movies to exist. They got McFeely of Marcus and McFeely back, who were the writers for Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. And, of course, Feige producing. So you've got producer, directors, writer, half of the writing team, but still, a dude that was on that writing team. It's not an original writer. And RDJ. Is it a little desperate? Yes. Did they put themselves in a corner with not doing phases 4 and 5 well? Yes. Does it being a little desperate reduce the badassness and ridiculous potential of awesomeness of this move? Hell no. The fact that it's desperate is more of a side note rather than a driving force. So, but yeah. What this tells me is if they're saving Kingpin for after Secret Wars, that the Spider-Man 4 just switched from the mostly grounded Spider-Man movie we all wanted and that Feige fought for and that we may have been getting at least for a minute. That's no longer the case, folks. I think we're going to end up getting a multiverse-heavy thing. Now, does that translate to more Toby and Andrew? Maybe. Maybe not. Now, will it be completely multiversal? No. I think we are. I mean, he's in his new homemade suit. I think we are going to get some of the movies got to be grounded. I just think the percentage of grounded versus the percentage of multiverse just shifted from much closer to grounded to, like, if grounded is here, multiverse is here. It was here. Now it's a bit farther over with multiverse still over here. It's a lot closer to a multiversal movie than a grounded movie at this point. At least that's what that's telling me. Sounds like a recipe for success on paper. Yes, it does. I mean, what we're getting now, because the Russos have wanted to do Secret Wars, like, from jump. For whatever reason, Feige decided he wanted to go a different direction than theirs. And then they fucked up King, and now he's like, well, shit. And then he's like, okay, I guess we should probably bring RDJ back. And RDJ's like, I'm not coming back without the Russos. So, so that's the way that happened. And then again, you throw in Feige with his mind back in the game. And then you throw in McFeely on top of that. Shit. I mean, that crew has already done it 4 times before. They can definitely do it 2 more times. With Doomsday and Secret Wars. Brooks says, want Spider-Man 4 to be grounded and dark and gritty. Yes, so do I. I think we're going to get some of that, but nowhere near as much of it as we were going to get before. Unfortunately. Matthew says, I'm very much sold on Doomsday, not on Secret Wars. I need to know more. What do you want to know? I will help you if I can. But in the meantime, we'll finish this little Spider-Man section from Mr. Perez. Footlong Slinky. Interesting screen name. Do you know who's directing Spider-Man 4? Alex says, I don't, and I am not necessarily good with director picks. But I heard a rumor from a source, ... about a pair of directors who Marvel might be looking at to direct the movie. Here's the thing about that. Obviously, at least obviously me, my first thought would be like, fucking A, Russo's on this shit. But yeah, no. I don't think it'll be the Russos. Because there is another pair of directors out there whose name has come up a few times already that I'm not overly fond of. If I can ever fucking type, this would be moving along. Yeah. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, probably over here. Come on, you motherfucker. Okay. These two are the two I'm talking about. Adil El Arbi and Bilal Falah. They directed a couple episodes of it. Or were they? Or the two I'm thinking of the producers. Who's the producer? God damn it. Maybe I fucked that up. I may have fucked that up. I might be right, though. Who was the producer? But yeah, I think it might be those two. And I think those are the two he is talking about when he says a pair of directors. It won't be the Russos. He says, about all the cameos and the multiverse and story, it could be messy. Yes, but again, that is why I'm happy to have the team back that ran Endgame with all that big-ass pile of shit they had to deal with. It's the exact same team with a pretty comparable pile of characters to be dealt with. Oh. If Justin is listening or runs across this later, is there any update on Beyond the Spider-Verse, any potential release? Alex says they're working hard on it, and I'm hearing a lot of cool things for it. As for potential release, I'm hearing we're still 2 to 3 years out. Could be 2027 before we finally get Beyond the Spider-Verse, which was supposed to come out this year. In case you were wondering. Noobmaster66. Will Miles Morales be introduced in Secret Wars? Alex says, I don't want to talk too much, but there is an idea regarding Miles before the multiverse saga is over. It's not big, but it'll be fun. Ooh. Footlong Slinky. Do you know if MCU Miles Morales will be the 6161 mentioned in Spider-Man Homecoming? Alex says the MCU Miles is still a bit away from showing up. Again, technically we won't have any MCU Spider-Man characters because they'll all belong to Sony, unless Sony actually sells the movie rights back to Marvel Studios and Disney. The third animated Spider-Man in the trilogy, you mean Beyond the Spider-Verse? Yes. It's looking like 26 or maybe even 27 before we'll finally get that motherfucker. Yeah. And there's some other fun stuff. But I thought the Spider-Man stuff, personally, out of all of it, is the biggest deal. Just because the drama between Feige and Pascal and figuring out what the fuck they wanted to do and when the fuck they wanted to do it took like a hot minute to deal with. And then now it's fucking changing again. And the end result was something more people were definitely in favor of, which was a very nice grounded Spider-Man story where he's just kicking ass in them streets. Along with Daredevil. Kicking the ass of whoever Fisk hired and just whoever else fucking needs it. But I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably not happening anymore. Dick says, I'll take a deuce in the toilet, film it, and it'll be better than this Sony crap. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with that lately anyway. Madam Web, Morbius, Venom 2. Although Venom 2 wasn't anywhere near as bad as Morbius or Madam Web, in my opinion, but I know a lot of people did not like that motherfucker. So, I mean, that's not a hill I'm going to die on. I'll just be like, yeah, okay, you like it less than I do, so be it. So, any further thoughts on the Spider-Man thing or anything else? Because if not, I'm going to dip. But any other questions, concerns, and it doesn't even have to be about Spider-Man. Anything MCU, anything DCU, fucking Star Wars if you even want to go there. We can talk about how hype Alien... Ooh, wonder where that's doing. How that's doing, actually. I've seen a lot of pretty decent early reviews for Alien Romulus. But then I've also seen a couple pop up that weren't that great. And then it started off pretty good on the Rotten Tomatoes. And then it started kind of dropping as more critic reviews came in. So let's see where we're at here. There we go. Well, bam. Okay. It's at an 83% with 116 critic reviews. Well, being an R-rated sci-fi horror, that's actually, I would prefer it to be higher, obviously, because I fucking love Alien movies. But, I mean, when it comes down to, like, fuck the critics half the time anyway. But, I mean, I'm going to go see it. Dick says, the Star Wars Oreos kind of suck. Are you talking about the packaging or the actual cookie itself? Like to eat. Because this packaging is fucking dope. And notice how Oreo was smart enough to go with OT characters and not sequel characters, eh? Classics. Brooke says, saw your comment to the picture of Batman who laughs. Yeah, posted in your server, but yeah, I want us to get more info on that version of Batman. Yeah, definitely wild. That is for sure. Man, he says, Star Wars, I want something for the 50th anniversary, like the actual 1977 film Lucas is withholding. Yes! See, like, I honor George, and I definitely prefer how he does Star Wars over how Disney's been doing it. But he is definitely not perfect, and that is definitely a large bone I have to pick with him. Give me my fucking original OTs back, you greedy son of a bitch. I don't care if they don't live up to your original vision. We love them. Give us. Yeah. Brooke says, I think I'll enjoy the new Alien film. Sci-fi horror is cool. Oh, yeah. The trailer for Romulus looks cool, too. Yes, it does. Dave says, nope, that's it for me. Hope to see you all on Saturday night, Sunday morning. All right, man. You outie? Have a good rest of your night, I guess. As it is currently 2:17 in the morning for you. Or no, I'm sorry. 5 hours. 4:17 in the morning for you. Yeah, have a good morning, sir. Brooke says, I keep hearing rumors about a 4-hour director's cut of Revenge of the Sith. Would love to see that. I've heard nothing about that, but yeah, I'm totally here for that. I'm very much totally here for that because there's definitely some details that could be filled in. Nailing down like actual what do you call it? Passage of time. That is definitely something that does annoy me about all of Lucas Star Wars is you really don't know how much time fucking passes just by watching the movies. You literally need books and stuff to help you figure that shit out. So that's always been one of my gripes with George. Like I said, not perfect, but definitely the way he does Star Wars much better than the way KK does. Man says, I still have to see the new Apes film as well. Yeah, me too. I actually have to see... Actually, I think I only watched the first two. I think I still have to see the third one / the last one with Caesar in it. And then, I don't know. I'm just going to watch the whole motherfucking shit over. Brooke says, I'm about to dip in a few minutes. Going to continue watching some Stranger Things. Cool. All right. All right, so people be leaving. Does anybody else in chat have anything else they want to talk about? Revenge of the Sith could have covered more of Order 66. Yes. Definitely could have. There's a few things. Maybe I'll make a video on that someday. I should write that shit down. All right, y'all. Matthew says, no. Are you angry now, Matthew? Have I worn you out? All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here, whether you are here now, active in the chat, lurking, or if you made it this far on the replay. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, live or not. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Hold on. God damn. Ugh. Fucking hate that shit. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. Offering my usual large amount of gratitude that you guys are willing to hang here in any way, shape, or form for really any length of time. You're the bomb. I appreciate you guys so much. And, yeah, thanks for hanging tonight. We will see you on Saturday. I will probably go over more of this Discord Q&A because other stuff that I was thinking about talking about tonight we did not get to. And I really want to, so we will. So just so you know, we're definitely going to be delving into this part 2 of Alex Perez's Discord because it's got some interesting shit other than the Spider-Man stuff. It really does. So we'll be talking about that Saturday, and of course anything that comes up between now and then. And I will not. There's no way I'm seeing Romulus before Sunday. Well, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. But yeah, I'll just say it's up in the air whether I'll be giving any kind of review on Alien Romulus Saturday or not. That's up in the air. We'll see. But we're definitely going to get into a lot more of this Marvel stuff that I want to talk about that we did not get to tonight. For sure. All right. Cool. So, much love. Much gratitude. And we will see y'all on Saturday. Be good. Peace. You haven't seen Deadpool yet, Matthew? All right. let me guide you when it comes to Deadpool. All right. Do not go into Deadpool and Wolverine expecting, I guess, what you would call your traditional MCU movie, like, you know, something with like a really, you know, well planned out, thought out story with like massive, humongous, serious stakes. Deadpool and Wolverine is not that. It is not Winter Soldier. It is not Civil War. Deadpool and Wolverine is just a big. I'm going to explain it the way very similar to the way Kai Patterson explained it. A lot of MCU movies, especially the really fucking good ones, are really good stories about serious things told through the lensing of comic book characters and adaptations of their stories. Deadpool and Wolverine is literally all the bombastic goofiness and fun of an actual comic book just tossed onto the screen. That make any sense? So if that made sense to you, that's the perspective you need to go into Deadpool and Wolverine with. You're not going in there looking for Civil War. You're going in there looking for comic book bombast just thrown directly onto the movie screen. Done. You go in with that mindset, you're going to fucking love it. So, that is my advice to you for when you do go see Deadpool, which you really should do soon, honestly. But, yeah, other than that, yes, I'm also definitely looking forward to Romulus. I'm very hyped for that movie. But even more so, I'm hyped to hang out with you guys again on Saturday, for sure. So enjoy the rest of your week. Again, much love, many thanks. And we'll check you later. See you.